The world is changing and it's high time we also adapt to it as well. We have 5 minutes delivery, we have so many latest gadgets, latest technologies, flying cars. I don't think it is true yet, but still, what I'm trying to say is we also have artificial intelligence, which is a man-made thing, which is potentially going to destroy, no, which is possibly going to simplify our human lives in so many ways. One best way in which we can utilize artificial intelligence is its ability to teach students in a very meticulous way. So first of all, let's talk about what is teaching. If you are someone who is interested in learning a certain stuff, you should start somewhere, right? Basically, like you cannot know or understand something from scratch on your own. So the teacher's role is basically to teach you a certain subject in a very simplest way to make the students understand. But is it happening here in India? No, without a lot of shame, without embarrassing a student. It's not going to happen anyway. So forget about that, we'll talk about it later. So the teaching, it shapes a particular individual, it shapes the society. Very much like having a right partner in your life. To have a right teacher is also very fundamental. Let's talk about the ways in which we can learn. It's not just restricted to medicine or medical field. It applies to every field out there, like be it engineering, IT, whatever that is, arts, whatever that is. AI can potentially teach you a subject in a very calm and in a very basic way. So before diving deep into AI and other stuffs, let's talk a bit more about the teachers and the other forms of learning. So first of all, having a good teacher. How does it feel to have a good teacher? If I speak particularly about medical field, if you are having a good teacher, you will understand their clinical judgment, understand a lot about real life choices that they make, how to act in crisis situations, how to welcome a patient, how to treat a patient, how to discharge a patient. So many stuffs you can learn from a very good teacher. Then having a good teacher who can explain you all the complicated details in a very simplest way is like a wonderful thing. Apart from that, a teacher can also play as a role model in your life. Good teachers are someone who are not only good to you but also to the patients. The way they treat the patients ethically will set a standard for you that you can follow in the future as well. A good teacher also intrigues a student to ask questions like, why is this happening? Why are you giving this medicine? Why are you discharging the patient now? So that is the way learning is supposed to be. That is the way a good teacher is supposed to be. But are we getting the same kind of teacher everywhere, every time? No, it's not practically possible. They have a certain knowledge that cannot be found in any of the textbooks. Like, take for example, if you are a medicine student, if you are following Harrison, you cannot find certain things that your professor or consultant say. So that is how they play a very pivotal role in every doctor, every PG's life. These are all some of the advantages that I spoke about having a good teacher, but the only disadvantage is that I can think of now is the limited availability. You cannot approach a good teacher 24/7. They cannot stick with you throughout. And in a class of 100 of students, you cannot get the attention all the time, obviously. But having said that, having a good teacher is very essential for every student's life. I'm 100% sure that all of you who are watching this video must have witnessed at least one or two good teachers in their life. Those you won't ever forget. So the next thing I want to talk about, the next mode of learning is books. Textbooks are standards. Textbooks are very much like religious books, like people follow it very rigorously and religiously. Textbooks are very much like map. If you follow textbook to learn certain things, it definitely gives you a structured foundation, and the contents are backed by some definitely brilliant individuals, and the depth of it is definitely better. But some of the limitations that we can see in textbooks is the slow updation of the contents. Very much like the religious books that are written very long back ago. Some of the contents in the modern textbooks are really outdated. And definitely there is no personalization in it. Like your way of understanding certain thing will be different, your foundation will be different, but it's not the same for every student out there. So it's not subjective at all. It's entirely objective and it's a one-way communication. But this is my major concern personally. There is no instant clarification that you can get from textbooks. Sometimes the textbooks can be dense and very hard to digest. Addressing the elephant of the room, having a friendly AI as a mentor, tutor, or teacher. AI practically plays a role as a bridge between theory and clarity. You can ask AI anything in the world. Like you can ask it to explain so much of random stuffs out there in a very simpler way. If you don't understand the definition from a textbook, you can ask AI to present it in a very simplest way in 10 different forms. Would you believe it? The versatility of the AI in which it teaches without judging the individual is something that we should cherish about. And it can easily give you flowcharts from standard textbooks, and it will easily simplify the education system for you if you use it properly. If you're someone who is hesitant towards raising your arm and asking questions in classroom, then AI is your go-to place. On top of everything, it never judges the individual. It never gets tired. Happily teaches you over and over, even if you ask the same question over and over. And last but not least, having a bad, egoistic teacher. These are all the people who try to always pull you down. they try to pull down your confidence. Teaching becomes not educational but hierarchical. You will definitely stop asking for doubts. Learning will definitely becomes fear based, and obviously your critical thinking will get depressed or suppressed, whatever that is. The problem will be your individual capacity of solving a solution will definitely get affected if you are in constant contact with those kind of people. So after a point of time, obviously your curiosity for that subject will vanish, and this should not be a reason for you to stop learning. If you want to learn something, no matter what happens, no matter whatever they try, you will continue to travel along your journey. And if you are someone who thinks that you can stop someone from learning a certain thing, then you are living in a fool's dream. Basically, like, everyone has the access to everything out there, and you cannot stop them from learning certain things. And this goes to all the bad teachers, bad egoistic seniors, whatever they are. Basically, how can you deny someone of having a knowledge of certain thing? That is totally unethical, and you are not supposed to be a good teacher, and you are not supposed to be a good human after all. The whole point of surviving as a human is to pass on the knowledge to the future generation. And if you are someone who is very adamant about it, if you are not willing to teach the generation of the future about the survival skills, then what's the point of you becoming a human? But whatever that is, like, even from those people you can learn some important values. For example, they are the living examples of how not to be in the society. So having discussed about all these four forms of learning, ultimately what I would personally recommend is there is no perfect solution for anything. You cannot learn a certain thing just by having a good mentor, just by having a good teacher, or even AI. You need a combination of multiple things, even those bad teachers, because they will also serve a purpose in your life, that I have said already. So the mixture, a combination of all those things is necessary for a person to learn a certain thing, and that is going to be my conclusion as well. But the only advantage that we have in the latest time that our previous generation didn't have is the concept of AI, because you can definitely fine tune your academic skills with the help of AI, which is the biggest plus in this modern times. Let me know in the comment section which form of learning is the best that you think of, and which helped you a lot. See you again in another video. Until that time, see you later. Bye bye.